Most people know one short verse from the Bible. They have seen it on coffee mugs. They have read it in greeting cards. They hear it from well-meaning friends when life feels hard. The verse is Jeremiah 29:11. It feels like a warm blanket on a cold day. It is a soft pillow for a weary head. It whispers a tender promise when our world is loud with worries. The words are familiar and comforting. They are often quoted as a personal guarantee of a happy, easy life. But to truly feel the warmth of this promise, we must look beyond the surface. The words have a setting. They were spoken into a specific moment of history. Understanding that setting helps us understand them so much better. It turns a simple, sweet verse into a deep, unshakable truth. This verse is more than a simple wish for a good day. It is a profound declaration from the heart of God. It was spoken to people whose days were anything but good. It was a light shining in a very dark place. So many of us feel stuck. We feel like our lives are on hold, waiting for something to change. We look at our circumstances and see no path forward. We wonder if God has forgotten us. This is where the verse meets us. It is in these moments of stillness and confusion that Jeremiah 29:11 offers its truest comfort. Let us pull back the curtain of time. Let us see who first heard these words. Let us understand the depth of their struggle. In doing so, we will uncover a hope that is stronger than any passing trouble. Long ago, God spoke these powerful words. He did not speak them to a happy, prosperous nation enjoying a time of peace. He spoke them to a people who had lost everything. They were far from home. They were surrounded by a culture that did not know their God. Their hearts were heavy with loss. Their minds were filled with fear. They were exiles. They had been taken from their homeland. They were forced to live in a foreign empire called Babylon. They felt abandoned. They felt punished. They wondered if God's promises had failed. It was into this deep well of sorrow that God sent a message. He sent it through a prophet named Jeremiah. The message was not what they expected. The words of Jeremiah 29:11 are so popular because they speak directly to a universal human feeling. We all face times when the future looks uncertain. We all have seasons where we feel our lives have stalled. We ask questions like, what is next for me? Has God forgotten the dreams He placed in my heart? The beauty of this verse is that it does not dismiss our feelings. Instead, it meets us right where we are, in the middle of our uncertainty. It acknowledges our desire for a future filled with hope. But to fully grasp its power, we must journey back to ancient Babylon. We must sit with the heartbroken exiles. We must hear the words as they first heard them. Only then can we see that this is not a promise for an easy life, but a promise of God's presence in every kind of life. Imagine losing your home, not just the building you live in, but your entire homeland. Imagine being marched hundreds of miles away to a foreign country, a country with different laws, a different language, different gods. The mighty Babylonian army had conquered their capital, Jerusalem. They had destroyed their sacred temple. The very place they met with God lay in ruins. They had taken the best and brightest into captivity. They were now exiles, refugees in a land that was not their own. Their sense of identity was shattered. Their connection to their past was severed. Their hope for the future was a tiny, flickering flame in a storm of despair. These were God's chosen people with a long history with Him. They'd heard stories of His miraculous rescues. They remembered how He had parted the Red Sea and led their ancestors through the wilderness. But now, in Babylon, those stories felt distant. False prophets rose among them, offering easy answers and quick fixes. Don't worry, we'll be going home in a year or two. Those promises were tempting, exactly what people wanted to hear. Their sadness was deep and real. They were grieving for their homes and for their way of life. They felt like God had turned His back on them. They cried out, why had this happened? Had God forgotten His covenant? Was this the end of our story? These were cries from the depths of broken hearts. They felt utterly and completely stuck. Past gone, present painful, future a terrifying blank. Into this scene of profound sorrow, God speaks. He does not ignore their pain. He does not scold them for their questions. He sends a letter through his faithful prophet Jeremiah. The letter contained the words of Jeremiah 29:11. But it also contained strange instructions. God did not tell them to pack and wait by the gate. He did not promise an immediate rescue. Instead, he told them to settle in, build houses, plant gardens, get married, have children, pray for the peace and prosperity of Babylon, the city of their captivity. It was a radical command. Live faithfully through a long, difficult season. God then spoke the famous words. "For I know the plans I have for you," declares the Lord. Imagine hearing this for the first time. You are an exile. You are a prisoner of war. Your life has been turned upside down. And in the midst of this chaos, a message arrives from the God you thought had abandoned you. He says he has not forgotten you. In fact, he has a plan. He spoke with such care and tenderness. These were not the words of a distant, angry deity. They were the words of a loving father speaking to his hurting children. He wanted them to know they were still on his mind and in his heart. He saw them. He knew their names. He felt their pain. He continued his promise. He said his plans were plans to prosper you and not to harm you. The word for prosper here does not mean instant wealth or a life free from trouble. It means wholeness, well-being, and peace. It's the Hebrew word shalom. God was saying, my ultimate goal for you is peace, even here in Babylon. This must have been shocking to hear. But God's vision is always bigger than our circumstances. He was promising that even in this difficult place, he could bring about a sense of wholeness and security. He was promising that this painful chapter was not intended to destroy them, but to ultimately shape them for a greater good. Then came the climax of the promise. He said his plans were to give them hope and a future. This was the anchor their souls desperately needed. The false prophets offered a false hope, a quick escape. But God offered a true hope, a guaranteed future. He was looking far beyond their current suffering. He saw more than their pain. He saw their potential. He saw a restored people, a renewed faith, and a future generation that would return to their land. This promise meant their present struggle was not the end of the story. This hope was a solid, certain destination. God saw their pain. He validated their grief. But he did not leave them there. He lifted their eyes toward the horizon. The exile was a painful detour, not a dead end. God had a destination in mind. He wanted them to know they were not forgotten. They were not abandoned. It is so easy for us to read this verse and think it is a personal cosmic wish, a divine get-out-of-jail-free card, a quick fix for any problem we face. They heard these beautiful words, but they did not get a quick fix. In fact, God told them they would be in Babylon for 70 years, a whole lifetime for many of them. The promise was real, but not immediate. The plan would unfold on God's timetable, not theirs. God did not move like a fast clock. He did not erase their hard days right away. So, what does it mean that God has plans for us? A plan is a path, a sequence of steps toward a goal. Think of a master architect designing a magnificent cathedral. The architect has the final image in mind, but building is slow and messy. It involves digging a deep foundation, laying one brick at a time, carefully fitting each stone into place. To a casual observer, it looks like rubble, but to the architect, every step is essential. God's plan is like that. It is a good plan. It is a perfect plan. The plan is to give hope and a future. It aims to help us, to heal us, for our ultimate well-being. The path to that future is not always straight or smooth. The plan does not promise an easy life. It promises God's presence and purpose within those challenges. God is at work even when we cannot see it. He is laying a foundation. He is shaping our character. He is teaching us to trust Him. He is orchestrating details we may not understand. His plan is real, and it does not depend on speed. It depends on His sovereign wisdom. This understanding changes everything. We can stop striving to force our own way. We can rest knowing a master craftsman is at work. When life feels paused, trust is hard. We ask, God, where are you? Why is this taking so long? Why me? Why now? These questions are signs of an honest faith. The Bible is filled with honest people who asked hard questions. God gave a promise that fit their long wait. He did not just say, wait. He told them how to wait. Build houses, settle down, plant gardens, eat what they produce, engage the present. Do not put life on hold. Keep living, keep working, keep praying, even in exile. He is calling us to active faith. Invest where He has you right now. Be the best student. Be the most faithful employee. Be the most present parent. Be the most supportive friend. Pray for the well-being of the Babylon we find ourselves in, our difficult workplace. Pray for our challenging neighborhood. Pray for our struggling family. The waiting is not wasted time. It is training time. God uses slow seasons to teach patience, deepen dependence, and refine character. It's in the waiting that our faith grows roots. The people in exile had to wait 70 years. They learned to worship without a temple. Their faith became more personal, less tied to a place. The slow time was a purifying time. Our waiting is not empty. It is filled with God's quiet, formative work. We just have to, pay attention to that shaping. This powerful verse from Jeremiah helps us in 3 very plain and practical ways today, especially when we feel stuck in a season of waiting. It is a lamp for our feet when the path ahead is dark. It is an anchor for our soul when the seas of life are stormy. It provides a framework for understanding our struggles and a reason to keep moving forward with hope. First, and perhaps most importantly, the verse reminds us that a delay is not a denial. A divine not yet is not a final no. We want everything now, from our coffee to our careers to our spiritual breakthroughs. But God's kingdom often runs on an agricultural timeline. A farmer plants a seed and waits. For a long time, it looks like nothing is happening. But under the surface, a miracle is unfolding. The seed breaks open. Roots push into the darkness for nourishment. A sprout gathers strength to reach the light. Our lives are often like that. Second, the verse powerfully points to God's loving care, even in the hardest of places. They were in Babylon, yet God promised well-being there. Our circumstances do not limit God. He can work anywhere. He can bring purpose out of our pain, growth, strength, and new opportunities. We may despise the hard place, but God is not intimidated by it. He can still work His good and perfect plan there. Third and finally, the verse gives us concrete hope for the future. Hope that fuels how we live today, with courage, forgiveness, service, and faith. Let's think about the career path that feels completely stalled. You have the degree, you have the skills, you have sent out countless resumes. Interviews seemed promising, only to be met with silence or a polite rejection. It feels like you are stuck in a professional wilderness, and you are tempted to despair. You see your friends getting promotions and landing their dream jobs, and you ask, God, have you forgotten me? I thought you had a plan for my life. This is a modern-day exile. You feel displaced, unproductive, and uncertain about what is next. Your confidence is shaken, and your hope is wearing thin. This is the perfect soil for the promise of Jeremiah 29:11 to take root. Remember, a delay is not a denial. Perhaps this season is like time under the soil. God may be developing character, teaching humility and patience. He might be protecting you from a toxic place, or clarifying your true calling. He is forming roots so you will be strong and resilient when planted in what's next. God's plan is for your well-being, to give you a hope and a future. The path might involve what you did not expect. Maybe the no is a yes to something better. Maybe unemployment is an opportunity to volunteer, learn a new skill, and invest in relationships. God's plan is rarely a straight line, more like a winding river that nourishes as it flows. He is not wasting your time. He is preparing you for the future He has promised. So, what can you do in this waiting period? You can live like the exiles. Plant a garden. Be faithful with what you have today. Refine your resume. Network with one new person each week. Take an online course to improve a skill. Serve in your local church or community. Pray for the companies you are applying to. Instead of passively waiting for a door to open, actively prepare yourself for the door God is preparing for you. This active waiting transforms frustration into formation. You are becoming the person for the job He has for you. Consider the pain of a broken relationship. A marriage ended, a friendship shattered, a family torn apart. You feel stranded in a land of loneliness and grief. The landscape of your life is unrecognizable, a Babylon of the heart. It is natural to feel your best days are behind you, that joy and peace will not return. Yet into this place, God whispers His promise. I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. It feels impossible. How can any good come from this heartbreak? But God's specialty is redemption. He does not cause the pain of sin and brokenness, but He can use its aftermath for His good purposes. He can do a deep work of healing, teach unconditional love, make you more compassionate, more resilient, and more dependent on Him. This does not mean the old relationship is restored. Sometimes healing means letting go. God can write a new chapter and bring healthy relationships. Your future is not defined by heartbreak. It is defined by His promise. He plans to give you shalom, wholeness, and peace, rooted in His unchanging love. So, how do you live in this Babylon of a broken heart? You follow God's instructions. Pray for the peace and prosperity of the city. Pray for the person who hurt you, releasing them from the debt of bitterness. Focus on what you can give. Serve someone else who is hurting. Join a support group. Invest in your healing by seeking wise counsel. By engaging your recovery and choosing to bless rather than curse, you partner with God in His plan. You allow Him to turn the place of your greatest pain into a source of your greatest strength and deepest purpose. Think about a long-term health struggle. You have received a difficult diagnosis. You live with chronic pain or limitations. The future feels uncertain. It is easy to feel your body as a prison, an exile from the healthy life you once knew or dreamed of. Into this struggle, God's promise shines. I know the plans I have for you, to give you hope and a future. It does not guarantee instant healing, though God can heal. The promise is deeper. It is a promise that your life has purpose beyond your physical condition. God's plan for you is not thwarted by illness. He can still use you mightily. Your struggle can become a platform for ministry. Your perseverance can inspire others. Your empathy can become a profound gift. Your future is a future of hope, not based on a perfect medical report, but on the unchanging character of God and the promise of a new heaven and new earth, where there will be no more pain or tears. This eternal hope does not erase pain, but it gives a new perspective and context. There is a glorious, pain-free future. This hope gives strength to face today with courage and grace. Plant a garden where you are. Encourage others. Intercede in prayer. Cultivate gratitude. Offer a listening ear. Focus on what you can do and participate in God's plan. You discover your life is far from over. It is being repurposed for His glory, bringing light and hope to others from a place of personal struggle. In the end, this beloved verse is a call to a patient and active trust. Jeremiah 29:11 does not promise a life without pain, but a powerful promise amid the pain. God is at work for our ultimate good. He sees the whole picture we cannot see. We see one dark day. He sees the beautiful story beginning to end. He knows how every struggle, every tear, every season of waiting fits into His master plan for hope. Trusting Him does not mean we understand all the pieces. It means we trust the One who holds them all. This verse meets us in our slow seasons, when we feel stuck, forgotten, afraid, reminding us God's plan is alive and moving. It calls us to live well while we wait, to choose hope when circumstances scream despair, and to believe in a good future, even when the present is hard. The words that comforted the exiles in Babylon are the same words that can comfort you today. You are not paused without purpose. God is guiding to a beautiful conclusion. He is steady when the path is slow and wise when the road is unclear. Hold on to hope. Keep taking small, faithful steps. Keep your eyes fixed on the One who knows the end from the very beginning. Remember, the God who guided His people through 70 years of exile and brought them home is guiding you through your season of waiting. He has not forgotten you. His plans for you are good. They are for your wholeness and peace. bright with His presence and promises. If you are waiting right now, if you feel stuck, take one small, simple action today. Speak a one-sentence prayer. God, help me trust your plan for me today. Find one small thing to be thankful for and write it down. Do one small act of kindness for someone else. These simple actions are like planting tiny seeds of hope. They declare that God's plan is moving, even on quiet days. You are not forgotten. There is a future shaped by His perfect care. There is a hope waiting for you. Step into it. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." If this teaching encouraged you, like this video and subscribe for weekly Bible teachings. Share this with someone who needs hope today.